The coronavirus had brought months of nationwide protest in Lebanon to a halt. But people are back on the streets again, voicing their anger over the country's economic turmoil. Since last year, Lebanon has been grappling with its worst economic crisis in decades. The outbreak of the coronavirus has made the situation even worse. Almost half of the population are currently living below the poverty line. Meanwhile, the Lebanese pound continues to plummet as inflation soars and unemployment has hit 40%. Lebanese banks have also come under fire for contributing to the economic crisis by covering up major losses and selling foreign currency bonds while restricting customers' withdrawal of dollars.
This reservoir is in one of 5 main water catchments in Greater Sydney, supplying drinking water to millions of people. Surrounded by protected land, it's a haven for many threatened plants and animals. Soon, it will also be home to coal mining. Peabody Energy has been allowed to extend its Metropolitan mine underneath the Warrenora Reservoir. Metropolitan is one of the longest continually operating mines in Australia, using longwall mining methods where a section of coal is removed in a single slice. And it's an important part of the local community. The company says the extension will protect more than 400 jobs and inject millions of dollars into the economy.
It's back to school for students in China. They were out of their classrooms for 3 months as schools shut down to stop the spread of coronavirus. Reopening is affecting only high school and middle school students, while smaller children will remain online for a few more weeks. Many students are welcoming a return to something more closely resembling normal. But a return to school has meant some new measures have been put in place. Students need to wear masks and practice social distancing. Before entering the front gate, they get their temperatures checked. Only those without fevers are allowed in. And students are encouraged to be vigilant about hygiene.
You had the Prime Minister, Giuseppe Conte, outlining what this phase 2 of living with the virus is going to be. And during that press conference, he made it very clear that schools will only be reopened in September. And he gave the reasons that he felt that if the schools were open on May 4th, which is when there's going to be a lifting of that lockdown measures, somewhat a slow and gradual lifting, he said that that could result in a spike in infections yet again within 2 weeks. And so there was a feeling that it was wrong to open the schools right now. On top of that, Italy has one of the oldest teachers in the world. Some 59% of the teaching staff is over the age of 50. And so he said it was necessary to protect the teachers as well, as they are the most vulnerable. That is the older population.
Izalco Maximum Security Prison is on 24-hour lockdown. But social distancing rules don't apply to inmates. Crammed together, they're banned from any contact with the outside world. The government says almost 13,000 gang members are locked up in El Salvador's prisons. Following the recent spike in murders, some of the most dangerous gang leaders have been sent to solitary confinement to restrict their access to the outside world.
Hemos tomado la decisión de mezclar.
They will not receive sunlight. They will be in total confinement 24 hours a day in the 7 maximum security prisons that are in this country. This was an order from President Nayib Bukele. We are complying with that order.
Spain's already fragile economy has been battered by the coronavirus lockdown. The IMF says over a quarter of the population hadn't recovered from previous economic crises. But with millions now unemployed and key sectors like tourism in limbo, some are forecasting a social services emergency.
NGOs and local associations tell us that since the lockdown began, demands for assistance with basic needs have tripled. In these associations, 220 meals are distributed every day.
This is Santa Ana Church in the center of Barcelona. It has become a food warehouse. There are 15 volunteers and the parish priest. This line is a snapshot of desperation. Some ask us not to film them because their families don't know they are here.
Shifting focus to Russia, where more than 87,000 people have tested positive for the novel coronavirus. 794 people have lost their lives to COVID-19. As lockdown measures continue, it has become difficult for as many as 10 million migrant workers to find a job. Although Russia's Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin has said that the country will start working on lockdown exit plans, there is no official word on when the restrictions will be lifted.
Police officers in the northeastern state of Assam ensure everyone abides by the lockdown. But as restrictions continue to be enforced for most people to limit the spread of the coronavirus, Sahanada and her mother are two of at least 60 people who've been released from detention centres for undocumented migrants in Assam after a Supreme Court order to reduce overcrowding in prisons during the coronavirus outbreak. Hundreds of others like them remain imprisoned. Lawyers say many of them were wrongfully detained and couldn't prove their citizenship because of issues such as discrepancies in the spelling of their name in different documents.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Masker ini bisa dipakai untuk teman-teman tuli dan teman-teman yang bisa mendengar.
Apa dicari? Siap.